Guten Tag. Hey guys, this is JB Dan, and this time you're gonna have a look at the HG Gundam G40. Like I mentioned in the previous video, so this takes a totally different look and approach, or should I say the industrial and the realistic look at the Gundam design. So for the price of this kit, is it worth it? Because I get it around like 120 ringgit Malaysia. Let's find it out now. So the industrial approach for the G40 kit is not only like from the mechanical design itself, and then the new idea that they can have in the Gundam. So for example, the camera, I really like the idea of having the camera can roll all the way from the top and then to the back. The pilot can have a better view, including the back of the mobile suit. So the head can tilt all the way up, very good tilt, until you start to like pop it out. So as you can see, it's not the regular ball joint. And for the base of the neck, it moves along when you tilt up the head, but you would not like to tilt all the way up because you will see a gap there. So you can tilt all the way down like this. So those black parts, which are the Vulcans and also the vents at the side of the head, those are separate parts. And then you cannot see the typical seam line on the Gundam head because it's squeezed like between two parts, and then at the middle the seam lines are very well hidden at the middle part. So one of the selling point of this kit is the articulation, so especially the torso. It can bend to the left and bend to the right, not a problem at all. It tries to mimic how the normal human body can bend, and then it can turn very good as well. It can bend forward and it can bend all the way up with the front chest part very well. But if you turn in front, you will see some little weird hole here. Reminds me of something. Well, that is just my imagination. So let's go to the arm and the shoulder armor. So the shoulder armor vent, it can tilt up and down. Really nice articulation there. So for the upper arm, it's just like a normal peg there. So you can see there's a slight curve there at the upper arm. Maybe it shows like the bicep. And then for the whole arm, it can move all the way up, so you can really have a very nice pose with this kit. So for the lower arm, it can bend really nice as well. It's not full 90 degrees bend, but I find it alright. It works fine for me. And there is a really interesting articulation at the lower arm there. It gives a little bit bending there, so that when you want to pose, it looks better. And for the head, just a normal bone joint, and then interestingly, it can bend all the way up and all the way downward as well, just like a normal human hand can do. And for the body surface, it has a curvature surface, which I like on this kit. For the sticker, there is a V operation sticker there. And then the skirt armor, this is the first time ever that a Grandaddy Gundam having a fixed skirt armor, and then there are no movable parts there. And one interesting also, that there is no hard point at the back. Supposedly for the normal kit, it stores the bazooka, but this time it doesn't have it. So moving on to the beam saber. So the beam saber, unfortunately, it comes out very easily when you turn it. So better be careful since it's a very small part. Move on to the backpack. The vernier, it can go up and down. So there is a great movement there. Compared with a normal HG kit, you would not see the vernier can move up and then move down. Really liking the design and then the overall look. One very interesting gimmick for the G40 is the leg. So since the skirt armor is fixed. So what you're gonna do, you gotta pull the leg out, and then to have the joint exposed out from the skirt armor, and then you just bend like this. It looks awkward actually from the side and then from the back, but it works, I think. But this engineering actually makes sense. I will explain in another video. So at the knee joint, it can have a very good bend and then a very interesting detail at the knee joint, not the typical knee joint that you will see in the Gundam design. Just like the arm, the leg, it can bend at the lower part as well. And then the three segment of the feet, really liking the design, and then the bend of each segment gives a really good posing of the kit. And the ankle armor also really interesting by covering the one of the exposing segment of the feet. The ankle armor at the back as well. So the feet is actually locked with a peg instead of a poly cap. So for this one, you can literally turn all the feet and then move to the back. And then the shield is not the flat surface that we usually see. It has a curvature look of it, which looks very nice. And then according to the sketchbook, you can actually keep the beam rifle underneath the shield. However, you cannot do that here, so really makes you wonder whether they are going to have an MG kit for this G40. So there is a pack on the shield that you can easily plug in at the side of the G40 arm, and then it's really firm and nice. You can even plug the shield at the back on the backpack, not a problem at all. Meanwhile, for the beam rifle, there's not many changes on this beam rifle, just a shorten of the barrel. But one thing is the secondary handle, it can move up and then move sideways as well. So as promised, the G40 kit actually poses very well. It gives a sense that how a normal human can actually give a pose from the torso, from the legs, everything, and then from the chest as well. So this is a side-by-side comparison between the G40 and the GBN based Gundam. So both Gundams themselves, they are indicated as a 1.8 meter, but it seems like the G40 is much shorter. I'm not sure whether this is part of the trick, but if you just plug the legs out, then the G40 actually has the same height and then a greater proportion look than the GBN based Gundam. So all in all, this kit is just very wonderful from the articulation perspective. But if you talk about whether the price is worth it for this kit, for articulation, definitely. But then for the weapon set, it's a little bit downside because the only weapon that this G40 has is the beam rifle, the shield, and the beam saber. However, if you are really a big fan of the Granddaddy Gundam, this is a must pick because it's totally different from the previous design of any HG Gundam kit. Actually, there are many details presented in the sketchbook, because in the sketchbook it detailedly saying how the articulation has been considered, and also the redesign of the core booster, the fixed waist armor, and also the beam saber design, everything. So it gives a little hint that maybe Bandai is trying to make this G40 and MG kit in the future. I'm really looking forward this kit to have a MG treatment, and I'm definitely gonna buy it when it comes out. So that's all for this video. I'll see you all next time. Bis nächste Mal.